let's do this now. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we are live on Facebook. I'm going to share real quick, let some people come in, make sure that it's actually working.
Sure.
It should be,
Agrees.
let's see. God, I
Agreed.
shouldn't have eaten that. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. No, it hadn't shown up yet. Oh, here it is. Now here it is. Okay. Yeah,
It's so
I'm
fine.
anxious to see what's happening.
Uh,
You've been killing it, man, for the last 3 or 4 days. Like, where am I? Where
where
am
am
I?
I? Yeah.
Where am I?
Yeah.
What is happening? All right, let me
Yeah.
just share out to a few groups,
Go ahead. Yeah.
and we can get the word out here.
You gotta
Let's
shut it
see.
out. Can you shut it out for me too, please?
Oh, here we go. There's another
I
one.
was
There's
just
another
thinking.
one. Yeah.
I was just thinking. You have Morgan Lee and I have Tammy Lee.
Tammy Lee. I know
Yeah.
Tammy. I know who that
Yeah.
is.
Tammy
Okay.
Lee Collins. Yeah. You have Morgan
Oh
Lee.
yeah, Tammy Lee
My heart's still,
Collins. Yeah.
and I have
Yeah.
Tammy Lee with me now. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Wow.
been beautiful, man. It's really beautiful.
Oh, you're
Well,
like behind.
yeah. You guys, where
Yeah.
you guys at? Where you guys at?
We're at my mom's in Jersey right now.
Oh, you in Jersey?
Yeah.
Right on.
We're getting ready to head back down to Florida, coming back down towards going back down to Key West or Ramai Keys, down to my dad's. I'm doing some massive healings down there.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to well, let me take that word "trying" out of the equation. It is my wish to set up a healing retreat in Arkansas, in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. 50 acres on a crystal mine. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
Well, you know what's crazy is I know of 2 people. Of course, we came from Arkansas. We were
Yeah,
there. That's where my brother's setting up the website. And so we're at this time, because you know how that goes. At this time, we're
yeah.
planning on going back to Arkansas, and that's just kind of what's on the agenda. That would be April 1st, but a friend of ours, when we went down to Nokomis Beach, we plugged in at a friend's house, and her partner, right after we left, they flew to Hot Springs, and we're going to look at renting a house. And then I touched base with her about a week ago, and I said, "Hey, I've got some friends going down to Nokomis, and where are you at?" She goes, "I'm in a 26-foot U-Haul on my way to Hot Springs." So she's moved to Hot Springs, and then the lady that we're renting the
Wow.
RV from, the couple that we're renting the RV from, I got a message from about 10 days ago. Thank you, Jasmine and Eric. They've got 150 acres near Fort Smith, Arkansas. And she wrote me saying, "Hey,
Wow.
basically I got this download and I want to turn this 150 acres into a place. Maybe you want to have some type of festival or gathering here, so there's something about Arkansas. So
Congratulations.
right. And so after we ran into you, we came up to St. Pete, and we hung out 2 or 3 different places, and then Morgan went to Kansas City to hang out with a friend of ours. And so while she was there and I was here, this stuff about going to Arkansas, different people were saying they're going to go to Arkansas, and she had said, she sends me this picture of a dove is a dove superimposed over the part of the United States,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
in the very center of it there's like a diamond,
yeah, yeah.
and it's
Yes.
in the very center of it is right there where in the heart of Arkansas.
Arkansas,
And I said,
Missouri,
yeah, and I said,
Missouri.
where did you
Yeah,
get that? She said, from the Book of Enoch.
yeah. That's right.
It's in the Book
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
Enoch.
All the truths have been written out, and these are the places. It is the diamond heart, the center of heart of mother.
Yeah.
What we call Mother Gaia. Missouri, Arkansas, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to get hung up on location because we can actually do this everywhere. It's just these are the places we want to start doing it, and once we do it there, everything is going to kind of engulf into it, which then will spread like tsunami outwardly. So yeah, man. Are we live now? I don't even know.
Yeah. We've been live.
Okay.
We got 42
Okay.
people in the house. Everything you say, Ken, will be held against you. So you've been
I can
putting out
Shnukia. Thank
some.
you. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you.
All right on, brother. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so what I've
Many
noticed,
activations are happening.
yeah, yes. So what I noticed is, so at least for the past week, right? There's, Morgan's had these energy headaches. Like she had them like 4 out of 6 days. Some other people were having the same thing. I won't mention any names because I don't have permission. I don't know if that's something I should do, but so people were
It's
having these
okay.
energy headaches. They were having these major things occur, activations, whatever. And then you had to cancel, and you sounded like hell when you left me the
Yeah.
message. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
And Morgan's
died.
like, yeah, Morgan's
Yeah.
like, oh, Richie's going through it too. And I'm like, yeah. And
Yeah.
then I see you're putting up these posts, which I know the Ritchie language, so I know it's not like you can't take these things literally. There's a deeper
Right.
meaning behind them.
You're
But
right. Right.
one of the things that you said, and I just got to ask you about this,
Good.
is in regard to the coronavirus, which to me is no different than a chemtrail or any of that other crap that is this
Yeah.
fear-based programming being attempted to be implanted into our consciousness so that we'll believe it and give our power up to it. But you said something about the reptilian connection in the
Yeah.
sense in what I liked about what you wrote too is you weren't like distancing yourself or damning reptilian. You were actually saying this is part of us. Now again,
Embracing it.
I'm reading between the lines, so you have to fill in the
Hmm.
gaps. You can fill in the gaps, sir.
Completely embracing it because what it is let's just take the whole thing of fear-based programming out of the equation because in itself is a program. And the program is a program. So when you realize that and you say, okay, um, you can hold on to that. You can live that existence if you wish, and it's basically what's going on. But with the coronavirus, basically what it is, um, we all have the reptilian brain, right? The reptilian, and that brain or that strand of DNA had been implemented with this reptilian energy. I tap into it all the time. I use it, for the betterment of all, and I use it for healings because it's very powerful. It's very beautiful. It's not evil at all, but it had been able to be manipulated and used in um, ill-intendedly ways. So the coronavirus basically is almost like a frequency that's being sent out across the flat Earth, whatever you want to call it, the program, to kill that part of ourselves, to release it. It's actually a very beautiful thing. Um, I just say give me a line with it, Corona with a line. There's no reason to have any fear of this. Just enjoy it, sit back, cross our legs, enjoy the sunshine, and release the parts of us that are dying. To say people aren't actually dying, but parts of them are dying.
Yeah.
That's that. If people die from it, and you see it on the news, I don't believe it anyway. But it's a part of yourself that is dying within the 12 to the 24 helix DNA core that is dying. So yeah, it's really beautiful, man. I don't know if I just answered your question or not. I don't even know where the
Yeah,
fuck I
yeah.
am. I just woke up
Yeah,
from a
yeah.
nap.
We don't have to go any deeper into it. No, you answered it just fine. So, what have you
Yeah.
experienced the last what has it been, like 5 days, man? You've been like, you've been like projectile projecting through the universe and the multiverses and coming back, and I'm dead, and I saw one the other day. I laughed
Yeah.
my ass off. I laughed my ass off. I can't remember what it said, but it was hilarious. And
Yeah.
there's we got to have some humor with this too,
I
right?
don't even know what it was either. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really that. It's like, you're we're going through this stuff that we already did before. And I always say that we already did it. We're already perfect. And I mean, you have to use logic and reason here. And you say, okay, there's a source creator, and source creator is perfect. And we're in the image of the source creator, God, source, whatever you want to call it, whatever your God is, it doesn't matter. Um, I I personally feel it's nothing more than a chip, which is father, chip off the old block, and motherboard. But that's my preference to look at it. I look at it as being a computer program. And let me come back because I just don't know where I went there. Um, Basically, you're created in perfection. So if you're created in perfection, and why are we seeking to be perfect? We're,
Yeah.
we're basically not. What was happening is we're going through the rewind. We're going through the experience of what it took to become perfect, of
Yeah.
all the work that Source laid out to make us perfect, us being Source. Um, so when you realize that, you kind of can let go of the ropes and drop your guns and take your pants off and run around naked because everything's fucking divine. It's really that
Yeah.
simple. All we got to do is just fucking relax, let go of the bullshit that we think is important because it's not. It's all just an energy game that we feed with our thought consciousness, and our thoughts basically manifest the reality that we experience. And when you let go of that and you just flow with the all, and you're at what they call 0 point, which now I've been actually increasing somehow. I don't know how, but I don't see it as 0 point anymore. I see it in a very high influx of thousands and thousands and thousands of, I guess, angels or something, or wings. I don't know what to call it, but I realize there's nothing to do. There's nothing to worry about. You don't have to pray to anything because you are
Mm.
it. So
Yeah.
why pray to something that is you already? Um, just be kind and compassionate to everything and everyone, and continue on going through the journey or the Odyssey. And like you say, you can be drug, or you can fucking fly through it.
Yeah. Right.
And it's really it. If
Yeah.
if you're already divine, what else is there to do? If you really think about it,
Play.
we're
Ball
basically
out.
here to gather. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I said, what else there to do? Play, ball out,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, exactly. Play, have fun with the experiment. With the experiment, I should say. We're here to gather the intel, the information of of the experience, and that is only to expand on consciousness. So
Yeah.
so all of consciousness, the collective consciousness, can then therefore uh, have more experiences. Because
Yeah.
if we don't do that, we're all stuck in the fucking muck, right? And
That's right.
yeah, so really
Yeah.
that's it. It's just be in joy, man. There's really nothing to do. Be in joy, not
Yeah.
enjoy. Oh, yeah.
You're good.
Sorry to fade out on me.
No, I agree.
Um,
I totally agree with you. It's, it's like, we've done this before.
yeah,
Everything cycles around and it cycles
I
around. And
guarantee it.
whether it's 26,000 years or 13,000 years or who the hell, it doesn't matter that
Yeah,
each time we come around the bend, we hit a certain point. Say it's 9 o'clock on the clock face. We hit this point
yeah,
where we have enough information and enough awareness. We don't have to know every detail that we
right.
can now start to utilize this inherent wisdom that we have and begin to expand the experience of creation to your point. And so it's actually, yeah, perfection is perfection, but it's like we're increasing the
It's
experience of perfection, like to a higher
we're po-
perfection.
we're, we're polishing ourselves. We're polishing
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you. Confirmation. We're
Yeah.
polishing ourselves. Yeah, we're polishing ourselves of the grand illusion. I mean, everything is an illusion. We know this, right? But yet the illusion is real, and we're basically going through this to gain all the wisdom, well, all the knowledge, because it only works if you apply the knowledge and put it in action. But yeah, we're basically polishing up our own suit of armor here, and we're here to have fun with this shit and, and
Mm-hmm.
and not be holding on to things. And I've been saying it for a while. Don't hold on to your thoughts. Like, when you think something, this is the gold. Our thoughts are the gold. And when you think something, you then begin to the subconscious mind is a recorder. So it picks up on the feeling that you're thinking, and it says, okay, this is the program. So anything else you think that's in that category, it will then find it and connect to it and bring it into calibration with it.
Mm.
Therefore, then you start having all these different realities. All these different things are happening, and you're like, "What the fuck's going on?" But really, it's you because you want to attach to a thought, whatever it is. So it's a matter of just simply, like they say, staying in the present now. If you stay in the now, it is impossible to have a thought in your fucking head. If you
Yeah.
stay in the now, it is impossible to have a thought in your fucking head because your head is not in a game. Another cliche.
Mm.
Uh, is your head in the clouds? Yes, it is. The clouds is our consciousness. It's a
Mm.
form of our own consciousness. Everything you see is you. If you don't see it, it doesn't exist, does it?
Yeah.
So it has to be a part of you.
Yeah.
Logic and reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I tell you what, I just want to tell you something. I don't mean to interrupt you. I did that
No, you
last time,
didn't.
and I watched after I watched the replay. I was like, "What? I'm a fucking asshole. I'm a dick,
Why?
asshole. I'm a dick." But when from the last time I saw you guys, well, I saw you at Siesta Key Beach at the drum circle. Man, what a beautiful time. I did about 3 other drum circles after that, but at Nakoma Beach, when I hugged Morgan Lee. Let me tell you something, man. Her heart lit me up like like fireworks have been going off. I woke up one night sobbing, thinking of Morgan Lee, and it's just like, man, her love is so divine, and man, I'm ready to start crying just thinking about it.
Yeah, man.
But
No,
I honor you, Morgan. Very,
yeah.
very beautiful. And we're gonna link up again, and we're gonna be doing this, and because we are this, we already did this, and it's just it's a beautiful time now to be going through this stuff and seeing how we actually reach that perfected state. And it's what we're doing. We're
Yeah.
going through all these motions and struggles and headaches and everything else to gather the information, intel to only expand on what we already did.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
And the
Say, I'm
beauty
not on the piano.
and the
Good.
beauty of these, the synchronicities were 11-11, and they still are 55
Yeah.
55 33 33, and we see all these numeric synchronicities. But the synchronicities that I'm digging are we're going to Nokomis Beach, and Ritchie, I see you, and I'm like, hey man, we're gonna be here, and you're like, I'm gonna be there, and you walk into this atmosphere. There's these 80-year-old women in the middle of the drum circle dancing together. There's these
Yeah.
beautiful Down syndrome kids dressed as fairies and angels
Yeah.
dancing in the
Yeah.
drum circle, and then I came up to St. Pete, and a friend of
Yeah.
mine we collaborated with and had a gathering at a spiritual center with freaking cameras and internet and engineering equipment, and
Yeah.
I'm going over there, and I need a DJ, and I see Eddie Hensley is in town, and I I sent him a note, and I'm like, Eddie, we need to get together. He goes, oh, I see you're having a gathering on Saturday. And I said, yeah, you should. He goes, I'm going to go. And I said, yeah, man, I just, we're going to have this, we're going to have that. We're going to have a DJ, but I got to find one. And he says, dude, I'm a DJ. I got my deck with me. So I go and pick him up, and he's carrying it out like a suitcase. He's got his decks, but these
That's sweet, man.
synchronicities that are happening are becoming really, really loud. And that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's every now moment. I mean, those moments are beautiful because it's something that's you're doing, you're in that minute, you're in it, you know, and it happens, and it's like it's undeniably obvious. But it's also the moments when you're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
They're still happening, and they're the ones you want to really focus on or seek. That's what I've been doing, you know, like the little things, the things that don't really seem to matter, the times when you're just going to the store, you know, and you see the grocery cart attendant pushing the carts, you know, and you just look at them and you're like, I want to hug you. And actually, you know, you're hugging them in the middle of a parking lot and traffic's all backed up and you don't even give a fuck. And they don't give a fuck. They're like, I don't care if it's my job or not. And you're just hugging them and it's like so beautiful. And it's like, man, that was special. And, you know, but everything, like I said, it's every sense of our knowing. You know, every sight, smell, taste, touch, sound, word. Everything is synchronicity, and it's really hard to go to this, and that's what I've been doing. I've been doing this, but go into that every sense. Everything I see you now, and I'm looking for the synchronicities. Like, where is it? And I'm feeling it. I'm getting it. I'm getting the messages, and it's like that's where the magic really lies because it's like, you know, the magic tricks can't be just put out in front of you, and you have to kind of find them yourself. um but yeah, that's what I've been doing. And but yeah, it's bizarre. The synchronicities are off the hook, man.
Hmm.
um I'm here at my mom's house and the cat keeps going potty on the carpet. And so I put the vacuum cleaner on the carpet because the cat hates the vacuum cleaner, right? And then the next day, this cat going potty on the other carpet, and then Tammy Lee shows me a post on Facebook of a cat that's laying there that's named Dickhead, you know. And I'm like, this cat, like, what the fuck, right? And it's like the synchronicities of it when you really pay attention to it. It's like, is this actually happening? And
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's not that it's happening. We are that happening.
Yeah.
We're actually creating all this in every now moment. And
Yeah.
it's a matter of being in tune to your own thoughts. I mean, your true own thoughts, not what you think you're thinking, but the thoughts that you're not really aware of your thinking
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
The non-thinking thinking.
Yeah, the non-thinking thinking, and that's what I say. Like, stop thinking, man. If you stop thinking, if you stop trying, try not to try. Give that a chance. Let's give trying not a chance. Just don't
Yeah.
try, man. Just be in that moment. Be the beer. I
See
be
this.
the beer. I always wonder what the word. Yeah, I'm into word magic and all that and the spells and curses. You know, the good mornings and good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm into all that stuff, and you know, I went through that whole part of the journey. But I was always wondered, what does beer mean? Beer. You know, I'm like, beer, 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 beer. Yeah,
Beer, a
be the
beer.
beer, be the beer. Yes, it's
Mm.
really simple, you know. And I mean, we all know that beer is pretty much straight fluoride, but hey, man, you can't stop us now. We already did
Well,
this.
I'm done with it. I'm done with it as being a dyed in the wool beer drinker, but I'm done. No more.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
more.
yeah.
That's just my
I
own
don't
thing.
drink it.
But that's the thing. Everybody's got their own trip, and
Right.
what you align with is what you align with. You know, this is one of the
Yeah,
things I
yeah,
think that we're coming into as well. There's not so much of the you have to do this and you need to do that, and the preaching and the guru yogi kind of
yeah,
teacher mentality. We're all coming into the same thing. And the other thing that's happening too is when we get together, like you're talking about the hug with Morgan. Okay, you
yeah.
know,
That was beautiful, man.
of course
I can start crying thinking about that.
she just made a comment. She says Todd tells me off when I do that. Well, that's I got to tell you the story behind that. When she first came over the first time, I spent 5 weeks working with her, or she worked with me in Houston at a relative's house and put me through a boot camp so I could clear my shadows, or at least enough of it to where we could actually have a somewhat balanced relationship without me projecting. So we go to the bus stop at 6 in the morning. The sun's still down, and of course I spent enough time on the streets to know a few things. and this, we were fixing to walk in the bus station, and this crackhead, bless him, came
Yeah,
up
God bless him.
to her, and you know, of course, you know, the crackhead, he's going all night long. He's just
Just a
starting to
version of
crash a
me.
little bit, and she starts to go walk up to the guy and start to hug him. I'm like, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
don't do that.
yeah.
but
It's
but
okay.
but the thing is like, you know, when we come together in the physical, it adds another frequency to these incredible connections that we've developed on the internet. And man, it's like we don't even know in that moment how impactful that is, but I know you know what it is, and I know what it is because I've met enough people. And
Yeah,
it's not always fluffy love and light. You know, sometimes we connect with people and shadows prevail either in them or in ourselves or both, and that's still just as much of a blessing. You know, it
yeah,
really is. Triggers are a blessing, you know.
yeah. We're like I said before, we're literally you know, going through the muck, you know, and not everything is love and light. In fact, there is no such thing as love and light. It's love, light.
Yeah,
Everything is one, and
yeah,
those those who we perceive as being something that isn't us, you know, on dope or heroin or what, dope and heroin, um, crack, whatever. I've done almost all of it. Be honest with you, I tell
me
you right
too.
now, except for heroin. You know, I've done it all, and I'm happy I did because it actually brought me to a higher knowing of where I'm at now. And
Yeah,
when I see people that are fucked up on the streets, you know, I go out to them, I reach out to them, and I offer them help, and I talk
yeah,
to them, and I'll go buy them a bag. To be honest with you, but we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk. You wake up, and you come back too. We're gonna talk about 6 hours. I'm gonna change your
yeah.
fucking life. I guarantee you
Let me
that.
get you. Let me
Um,
get you a 50 bag so you can stay up with me. Right.
yeah, 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 right.
No,
Yeah,
but I hear you.
bang me up, whatever. Is the thing is there's no wrong or right. This is the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
We've been programmed to think that there's wrong and right, and
yeah.
there's not. It just is, and everybody's going through this shit together. And
That's right.
if somebody has to get a bag of dope to fucking get through it, then fucking buy it for them. Don't
Yeah.
fucking be a dick, you know. Just because you know what's going on, you have a little bit of a better fucking knowing. Don't be
Yeah,
a dick about it, man. They're fucking struggling. It's a
yeah,
version of yourself that's struggling. And it's like, I'm not in any way, just make this a public announcement. I'm not in any way saying that drug abuse or drug use is okay. I'm saying help your brothers and sisters, man, because people are fucking struggling. They don't know what's going on. They're scared. They don't want to face reality. Why wouldn't you want to face reality? Because it's fucking scary. That's why.
mm,
And it's okay. And they don't know about these things. They don't know about meditation. They don't know about hugging, hug it out, you know?
yeah,
But the thing is like all these things that have been available, uh, produced into our realities are there for a reason. And it's
yeah,
called frequency level check test. There are things to check to see where your vibration is.
yeah,
Are you gonna stay? Do you wish to stay in a lower vibration and have assistance uh to achieve a higher knowing, or are you gonna do it on your own? Are you gonna put the work in and find your way through it? But nobody's right or wrong. Nobody's at a higher level of frequency. There's just ones who happen to have a little bit more insight,
yeah.
um,
I
or
think
can
everybody's,
explain these things.
yeah. I think everybody's
Yeah,
beating at the same vibration. It just doesn't look that way. I've
right.
always
Yeah,
felt like that's like the, you know, the reality. And you know, I think most people know I spent a couple years on the streets when I woke up, and I'm so thankful for it. You know, for the communion I developed with the universe. You know, every day, but also because, man, I met some incredible people on the streets, and they were prostitutes, pimps, cokeheads, crackheads, you
yeah,
know, meth heads, just destitute people, just people that were considered mentally afflicted, that were kicked out of mental institutions, and so many of them were channeling. They were
yeah,
channeling pure consciousness, and it might just be for 20 minutes in a day, but I happen to walk into situations many times where they were delivering a message straight for me, you know. So we can't
yeah.
underestimate any of the mirrors that are out there because they're
And
us,
that's
right?
it. Key word mirrors. We're all basically just mirroring each other. Um,
Mm.
So it's like how can you do you judge yourself when you're looking at them,
mm,
and they are you. So do you judge yourself and do you say, hey, I think I'm better because I'm not high right now, or I'm not craving a bag, I'm not craving a
yeah,
line or whatever it is. Does that make me any better? Fuck
yeah,
no, man. Fuck it. There is no such thing as better. It's no such thing. That's the fucking head game that people have
mm,
been fucking tricked into fucking believing. And but
yeah,
nobody did it to us. There is no they.
no,
When everybody says the government, they're taxing us. There is no fucking they. They are us.
yeah,
We did this to ourselves. We did this to challenge ourselves. Why? To gather the fucking information, the intel,
mm,
to return to source to expand that whole knowing.
yeah.
It's really not rocket science, man. It's not. When you
Yeah.
really think about it, you know?
I want to ask you a question. Uh, I can ask you without even. I mean, I already know the
Yeah,
answer. You've
absolutely.
had. I know you've had plenty of dimensional experiences because we did a show before and we talked before in your life. What I was wondering is at this stage, 2020, are you having more interactions, let's say, with non-physical mirrors? Are you at a, or are you at a point where you've embodied so much it's pretty much all you now?
Yeah, that the last part you just said, that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, I realize now that because everything I see is me, so I kind of and in me, I'm not really me. I'm just everything. I am we. Um, I've learned to call in all that energy from all those experiences, from all those layers of realities, and bring it into my own existence right now, into this physical form, me, and utilize them for my own empowerment. And yeah, uh, from the ancestral, which they say, I realize now the ancestral is just another version of myself that there's another layer like in a bag of potato chips. There's not a bag of chips, just one bag of chips, and we're it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. Um, and I don't know if I said if I mentioned this last time or on the last show or whatever, but I was in meditation. I said, "Who am I?" I asked the question, "Who am I?" And I was shown this DNA carnival ride. It looked like a Ferris wheel or a roller coaster. And there was at each bar in the DNA strand was a life. And each one of them, like I was a man, a woman, witches, cat, dog, a rock, a grain of sand, a tree, a bird, a tree, whatever, right? I was there, all these things, and there's thousands and thousands. I couldn't even see it. It was so huge. And I'm just looking at them and they're looking at me and it's like they're in this indigo blue color. And it was very eerie, but it was kind of still cool. But anyway, I kept getting a message saying, it's not that we're with you, we are you. And that message, it's not that we're with you, we are you, stuck with me. And I realized that I'm all these lifetimes in one. I'm
Mm-hmm.
all these presumptions of generations in one now moment.
Yeah.
And I tapped into that frequency and I utilize that to energize myself. And that's what raises my vibration so high.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who, and going back like 4 or 5 years ago, the intel that she'd gotten, she was got some really strong intel as she was going through her transformation, personal healing, including cancer tumors and stuff, was that
Beautiful.
this particular incarnation is a summary life where
Yes.
all the things that we, at least maybe beyond, but at least in the incarnations we've had on the earth, all of them were coming into play energetically in this, and this is why this one was so intense, and that always resonated with me, you know it
Yeah.
always resonated
Yeah.
because you can have an experience, and that experience might last a day or a week, that basically is the same energetic pattern or whatever you want to call it, that might have occurred in a previous life that was 50 years, it's all the same
Yeah.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
but I think
And
that's
that's
something to think about.
yeah, and that's it. It's like, you say 50 years, and it's really interesting in space or time, but there is space time. And that's the hyphen in between space time, or dash in between space time. That's the void. And that's the void, which is the um, between everything and nothingness, creation. If you break the word year down, year it doesn't mean 12 months. It's ye. Ye is you, and are. So you are. You know,
Mm.
how old are you? I'm 0. You are. I'm 52, I think they say, whatever it is. But what also I realized this is I just saw this the other night is and well the other now when I was sleeping it's not years or generations. Like we go through a series of generational patterns where you have your great grandfather, your grandmother, and your mom, and you go through that as one series. And basically, though, before that, it gets very distorted. You can't really trace it back. It's not so documented. So what happens is we go through these, and so before this, there was another layer of existence. And if you realize, or you keep doing that, going backtracking, that's where we wind up with Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth has everything, all of our history, or I hate using that word because that word is just so silly, history. But uh, the Akashic records say is within this ship, and it's not a planet, it's not a rocket. Turtleback is okay, but it's literally a ship, and it's just nothing but uh, data storage that's been combined. That's what we're on. We're basically on a computer board. Um,
I picked up on that. I don't know how long it's been. I would say in the last month, and it was along the lines of, from a universal standpoint, uh, that this particular location, or however you want to put it, was what you said. Well, it was created to expand the experience of creation. That
mm,
one of the attributes, or the primary attribute, almost, I almost want to say, in turn, and now this would be like from a galactic level, I guess, was that all the
yes.
Akashic, all the universal records, that in other words, that the tremendous value of the Earth experience was the Akashic, was
Yes.
everything that we thought, said, did, do, say, whatever, because it's like this incredible cosmic library that all the star family, all the universal families learning from.
Oh, you got it. Yes, exactly.
Mm.
That's it. We basically we're all the ETs. We're all the reptilian, the Anunnaki, the Greys. We're all those, and we're basically combined, compacted into this one now existence. And it's just basically for us, for our own the strands in our DNA, which we all have the same, to gather this information, to expand on each other's experiment, to to then mix it into a big soup of
Yeah,
cosmic soup, and make it a grander party. And really, it's what it is.
yeah.
Um, it's really bizarre, but yet when you come down to it and you really think about it, you go, wow, that's it. So now what? You get to a point,
Right.
you're like, now what am I supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
I guess game's over. Where's my ribbon? Let me check the fuck out. Whatever.
That's what
But
I
yes,
always say. I always say that when this trip is done, I'll be the first one to go back down the chute. Because
yeah.
what do you do with it? Although
You get back around. You go back
yeah,
around. Because the thing is like people everyone wants to I want to get off this planet and whatever, and the thing is you're on the most beautifully designed amusement park ride of all time. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing better, and you're on it and you want to get off. Like, are you sure? Maybe you need to go within yourself and figure out what's going on within yourself to make you not want to be here. Because
Yeah.
that's really where the equation lies. You know.
So let me ask you, you've been traveling around, I don't know how long, but
Yeah.
what are you going to do from here out? And what I mean by that
Okay.
is like what frequency are you carrying forward? What mindset are you carrying forward? How are you operating? What's your operating program? How are you doing what you're doing? How does it work?
Okay, this is what I'll say. I already know this has already been done, and I know that I don't really need to do it, but I need to go through the experience to gather, like I said, the information and so to expand on it for the next go rounds, to say to keep it simple because I really don't know how to explain this stuff. I don't even know how to process it. But from here, I'm in Jersey. I've been traveling for the past 2 3 months, um, just traveling the East Coast, going to different drum circles like crazy. I love it. I love drumming. So drumming is like my heart. It's like where I tap into my native self, and I do my dances. Yeah, you saw 'em, I don't know, but um, I pretty much catch on fire and turn into a bird when I do it. But from here, I'm going to be heading back down towards Florida and down towards the Keys. Um, but I
I
need
mean,
to
but I
go
mean,
into Arkansas. I
but
need
I
to go
mean,
into Arkansas. Go
but I
ahead.
mean, but what I'm talking about is how, people are starting to Vera and Augusti, and we'll say Morgan and I even, but people are starting, and I just saw a message from a friend of mine who's fixing to quit her job
Yeah,
and just start traveling around the world. Uh,
yeah,
so many of these people don't have any money. They don't have
right.
resources. How do you navigate that part of it? How do you click with that? How do you flow? You know?
Yeah, that's like
What I'm-
Tammy. Tammy, she just left her career. She walked away from a government job, man. Fucking government job. Walked away. Said fuck it. She didn't say fuck it. She just walked away, and
Mm.
she started. I always tease her. I say she started following me around the country, but she basically just came to where I was, and we linked up, and we've been together since. Um, it's really a matter of self knowing that you're always if you're doing for the divine, if you're doing what you're following your heart, you will not be denied. There is no way about it. If you're doing things to make money or to be in a greed type mode, if you're doing things thinking I need to have this, I need to pay my electric bill, it's not going to work. It ain't going to
Mm.
work. You need to just go out and say I'm here to serve, and really have that feeling in your heart. If you're not feeling it, don't do it. Stay at your job. Stay where you're working. Stay at Walmart. Do what you're doing. But when you leave and you make that commitment to yourself that I want to be free, you're free, and everything else is free. You find ways they just come to you. Don't get scared when you get a little tight. You get a little tight on bread. Don't get scared. Just know
Yeah.
that the divine order is taken care of.
Yeah.
Um, and that's my goal, is to basically start this healing retreat in Arkansas. Um, 50 acres in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Michelle Vandergriff. mm, She has a property. It's totally off grid. I want to do a healing
Uh-huh.
retreat there for like a week or two, and then start hopefully building common unity communities where people can come in with nothing and nothing but your gifts. And I don't when I say nothing, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean walk in off the street
You bring
and
what you got.
basically uh,
Everybody,
bring what you
community,
got. Yeah,
everybody. Hey, let me ask
everybody
you.
work together. Yeah,
Let me ask you about. There seems to have been some major emphasis this month, in particular, on the feminine energy expanding. I don't know if that resonates with you, but if it does, and if it doesn't, can you just kind of elaborate on what your take is on the feminine energy, where it stands, at this point?
yeah. Okay. With the divine masculine and divine feminine energy, when I say that, I feel a separation in my words. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm talking about two different things, and it really isn't, but it is within yourself. And I have I I believe, or I be able that I have balanced those different influctuations of energy. It's all energy, and it's like if you look at energy, you don't go, well, this is one energy and this is another. Like it's like positive and negative. Negative isn't energy. Negative is grounding. It's just you have the positive flow and you have ground, and it's really the same with our own selves. And I think that's maybe what I think the divine feminine energy has actually always been considered um that, but it's actually uh the negative. It's actually the grounding,
The
which is
ground.
which is actually the
It's
positive.
a,
So it's kind of like it's I'm still learning myself. I'll
it's a
say,
paradox.
yeah, exactly. And it's like it's just everything spirals out from the center source of that
Yeah.
source, and we are the
Yeah.
source. And yeah,
Well, we see.
that's a tough gig,
Well,
man. It's a tough gig, bro.
yeah, I know. I mean, I know, and I know I don't want to get caught up in semantics, but there does seem to be, well, obviously, at least in this playground, the last line of separation is gender, or let's say energetic gender. And then there's the I
Yeah,
would have to say sacred wisdom, or and maybe it's put in terms that humans could understand, and maybe it's spoke differently in other realms, and that is the intermarriage, the masculine and feminine. So when I say feminine, I'm just talking about an energy, yes, or
yeah,
or half an
yes.
energy, half of the energy, or however, I don't know how to say that, but we know if, for instance, in
It's
this, we know we
photons. Yeah,
yeah, okay, okay. So what I'm saying is we know in this realm, at least for the last few thousand years, no matter who says whose narrative, that the we had the patriarchal system, and the masculine was more powerful, in all the different ways, and that in
right.
order to have the balance, that feminine energy had to come up, the masculine has to come down, or however that works, to be equal 50-50. Because you're right, it is all one energy. But I'm just
Yeah,
talking about recently, as
yeah.
people talk about Intel, and one thing that seems to be happening last year and certainly this year is there's a lot of people, like with you, the last 4 or 5 days, the things that you were putting out there, a lot of the stuff was aligning with what other people were feeling and saying. So
Yeah.
there's been some talk about this feminine part of us that's starting to take hold and really come into its power. And I don't know. I just wanted to ask you what your
Yeah,
thoughts were on that.
it comes to us in our own divine timing,
Mm.
where we first are familiar with, hey, there's this divine feminine energy in myself, and I'm not in tune to it. I'm a man, and I have to tap into it. And you go through that struggle of dealing with these things. You're like, I'm a girl, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm born as a feminist, right? You know what I mean? You kind of go through these different things. You're like, you're mixing all these apples and
Mhm,
oranges together, and it's
mhm,
really all fruit. It's all just fruit,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
And and it's like you get to a point then where you go through it and you say to yourself, okay, I'm cool. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a man or a woman.
Mm,
I'm not anything you could check in a box. I'm not black. I'm not white. I'm not yellow. I'm not red. I'm just me. I'm just energy. I'm in this full force flow of energy. That's part of all. That is all. Not part of, but is all. And as I'm all, it's all me. And it's like we had to go through these certain little like stages. We go up steps, and we as we go up each step, we're taking baby steps, and we're falling down a couple, and we get back up. You know, and but really, it's all the same thing. It's just it's kind of hard to explain, I guess, because there's no words to really articulate these things
yeah, I know.
because they never taught us these things. And I say
Of
they.
course.
Let me take that back.
Us. Yeah.
There is no
The you,
there
me,
is
we, and
no
it.
fucking they.
Do you think that we'll see some instant manifestation in the physical from our
Yes,
thoughts very soon?
absolutely. It's already happening. It's been happening. It's been happening. It's just now being more. It's more. What's the word? We manifest everything anyway. And now it's just we're more aware of this. So we're actually able to actually think something. And, it's like we do it all the time. And I'm like going, I'm like, wow. Like it just happened. It's like, of course it just happened. How could it not happen? I just thought it, you know? And then I
Right.
catch myself. And it's really when you're in that pure state of innocence, when you have that childlike imagination, and you're just like, you have that thought of a child sees something and wants to reach out for it and grab it. There's no denying it. It's going to grab it.
Mm.
The baby knows it's there. It's there's no stopping it. No matter what the baby thinks or wants, it's going to happen, and that's really it. Because there's no limitations, there's no restrictions or anything holding it back, and basically you want to put yourself in that baby state sense of being and just be a
Mm.
baby. Really, we're all just a bunch of grown-up babies walking around with pants on. That's all we are, and,
Thank
and,
God
and
we're
when
not
you
wearing
kind of,
diapers. Thank God we're not wearing
yeah,
diapers.
I
So,
tell you,
and
lately with these purges, I'll be honest with you, there has been a lot with the energy. I've been purging like crazy. I'm going like, I don't know what else do you want out of my body? Like I don't have anything left in me. Like why am I on the toilet now? And it's like
mm,
the energy's like, no, it's coming out, man. Like whatever it is, it's going to come out. But
yeah,
yeah, we all need to be wearing diapers soon. I'm like starting to wear pajamas during the daytime. It's crazy.
is that Tammy? Is that Tammy back there?
Yeah, she's right here.
Thought I said,
Tammy, say hi.
thought
Wave hi,
oh,
Tammy. Hey,
she
she
doesn't
got
want to come on.
headphones on. She don't even hear me.
So,
Wake up.
what about the telepathy with people
Yeah,
like
she's there. She is. There she is.
hi,
There's Tammy. Yeah,
hey, what about the
Tammy Lee.
telep?
Everybody. Heard you. You said hi. Yeah. All right, there we go.
What
Okay.
about the telepathy? Like when you're hanging around Tammy or with other people, are you starting to see that become more expansive?
Yeah, I've been picking up on people's frequencies all the time with that. Like, I can I'm starting to actually like almost see the words in their heads. It's kind of weird. I don't really know how to even explain it right now, but
Mm,
I've been seeing it. Like, I can see when someone's feeling sad. I feel like I can see that like the experience that they went through or whatever, or a synopsis of it that makes me I want to hug them and all, but um telepathy, my son and I, Phoenix, we're in constant communication. He's actually the one that taught me. He's 18 years old. He's severely autistic. They call him disabled. And I realized that he's actually superiorly highly advanced. He is
mm,
so advanced, he doesn't give a fuck if he's just in his pants. He doesn't give a fuck because he's not in this realm. He actually exists in other realms. And he has taught me so much. I'm so grateful. He's my master teacher, to be honest with you.
wow.
But we're in constant communication, and I know when something happens, he like sends me a message. It's not the same as like speaking words, these word magics. It's very subtle, and you have to kind of just be in your most now present moment to engage in that line of frequency. Because it's much like a radio station, you're dialed in. If you turn the dial a little bit, it gets staticky. So you have to be right in there. And it's just a matter of calmness in your heart and being in the breath. Because life begins and ends in the breath. So it's when you're in that breath moment where you're actually focusing on breathing and nothing else. Nothing else is interfering with your conscious thought. And you're are basically consciously thinking of breathing. You're bringing all potentiality of your existence into the breath, out to the breath, into the breath. I seem to then really like we just tune into each other and it's like zzz. And then it's like instant message. And that's what all these things mean, like instant messaging, Instagram, um, uh, iHeartRadio. What these are basically the karmatic releases that we laid out before us to be able to identify these different forms of communications that we already had. This isn't something that is new. This is something that's already been. It's
Yeah.
been done. Like I said, we're already at a perfected state. So we're basically we lay these things out as like little breadcrumbs to show us what we already are. You
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah. It's
I
like
believe
it's
in the
like
book.
the Huh?
I believe it's in the book of Revelations. It says, in the end days, they will be talking with each other with stones in their hands. And I said, stones in their hands. It's phones in their hands, and not even needing them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the
Yeah.
physical is integrating with the non-physical and becoming
Yeah.
one and the same.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Right on. So
It's,
you're coming down in what, 3 weeks?
yeah. I'm planning on head. Are you in Florida now? Are you still in
Yeah,
Florida?
we're in St. Pete till March 31st. We have a
Okay.
place.
Cool.
We have
All
our
right.
RV plugged in.
I'm gonna I'm gonna stop by and see you then. Definitely. I'm coming down the first week of March. I'll be heading back down to Florida.
All right, right on.
Um, we're gonna stop at Tallahassee and then some around that area. But yeah, and then heading down to Key West. So yeah, I'll definitely link up with you. And then I, I did want to shoot out to Arkansas. I know it sounds crazy, but to
No,
take
man,
another
Arkansas
17
is
hours. I'm like,
Ark.
I'm gonna go. It's like I'm looking at it like I'm going from one town to another. I don't even get the space or time in between because
Hmm.
there's no such thing. I mean, it's just miles or smiles and nows. But I wanted to go by Arkansas to survey the land, the property, so I can kind of get an idea how to set everything up because we have sweat lodges and things like that going on, whatnot.
So
I have to figure out how
so
to place everything in tent camping sites, whatnot. But
wow.
yeah, I'm gonna come to Florida. I'm gonna end up probably coming to Florida. If I have to, I'll fly from Florida to Arkansas, you know, and then do that and fly back to Florida, stay down there for like a month, and then wind up back in Arkansas. But I also wanted to head out. I have a couple other people that are setting up the same thing that reached out to me out in California. Tyler Barrett. If anybody hasn't contacted him, he has amazing products. I just give him a quick plug. Tyler Barrett is Go Beyond. He makes cannabis products, infused fruit, superfoods, all kinds of things like that. He's on Facebook. Send me a message. I'll hook you up with him. But he's doing a retreat too in a place I can't think of the name right now. Doom Beyond or something like that. It's called in California. Um, and then yeah, so expansiveness, brother.
Hit me up. Hit me up. Hit me up
Yeah,
when you head this way, and shit, we may see each other several times this year. If you're gonna
yeah,
be in
we're
If
gonna
you're
be
gonna be in Arkansas,
yeah, we're gonna be linking up. We're gonna be doing this, man. It's already in the I can feel it, man.
I agree.
And there's many others that are ready to meet me out there too. So there's no reason why we can't just pull in a mass, collectiveness here. Um, but if anybody else wants to help out with organizing what I call my first healing retreat. It's not really mine; it's for everyone. But anybody wants to get involved, don't hesitate to reach
Do you
out to
know
me
when it's
because
gonna be?
I'm a
Do you know
cost
when it's?
buck.
Do you know when it's?
I'm looking at hopefully I'm hoping in spring by spring. So we're talking like March, April, May. You know, um,
Don't rush it. Don't rush it. This
yeah, I'm not
yeah
rushing
yeah
it.
yeah.
But I mean,
But
I'm trying to get. I'm consistently. I'm. It is my wish to have it set up by spring, so it can be like the most pleasant weather for people that
yeah, true.
maybe coming
That's
from the
true.
public.
Yeah
That's my goal. To figure if you do one and then people get
yeah
wind of it,
yeah.
it's going to be like a couple hippies at first time, of course. And then we can set up another one 2 weeks later, something like that, and then start generating some funds to get supplies, get things we need to get, whatever,
Right on.
um, and
Right
start
on.
building this up, start doing this, and take it from take my goal is to have a healing retreat, healing center, free healing centers in every state of this country,
Right on.
with 5 years. That's my goal. So
There's a lot of people
anybody
moving the
wants to
same
help me,
direction.
yeah, right.
A lot of
And the thing is, that's the whole thing. The funny part is nobody actually needs to heal, but we have to go through the experience of healing and
mm,
healing each other in order for us to rise in consciousness.
yeah. Right
It's
on.
already been done. If we're perfect, why do we need to heal? Right?
Exactly. Healing doesn't even exist.
Right. It doesn't exist. We just have to go through the experience to gather that information and intel to expand on the experience. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
That's why I'm doing this.
these gatherings are going to be huge because codes exchange, so much codes exchange, and when
Yeah.
people are in the same space. All right, man. Well, hit me up
Yeah.
when you head down this way, and yeah, as you're gonna, you just come down. I don't know the highway, but yeah, you got to go through St. Pete to get over that big
Yeah,
bridge.
you know it.
Right
Bro,
on.
I'll drive across the galaxy to meet you up with you again, man.
Yeah, all right, man. All right, you take care, brother, and see you later,
All right,
Tammy.
bro.
All right,
All right, man. See
see you
y'all.
later.
Thank you.
Glad you. All right,
Now,
brother.